Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to the next lecture of OCM. We are studying chapter number 4, that is business services, and by that we have already covered the major part of this chapter by completing insurance, transportation, and communication, and the most important part is banking. Banking is one of the most important business services. Without banking, business cannot run, because because as we all know that finance is the lifeblood of any business organization, and finance we receive from banks, from institutions which lend money to the businessmen. Okay, so banking is an important business services which we are going to study today. The What do you mean by bank? Bank is a financial institution which deals with deposits and advances. Basically, in a layman's language, bank is an institution which accepts money from the people in order to lend money to other people. Bank is an institution which encourages people to save money, to give money to its if you are an individual and you have certain amount of money, you are scared whether this money may be theft or lost. So what do? You go to bank, you open an account, and you save your money in a bank, and then that bank gives you an assurity that your money is safe with us. Whenever you want that money, you can take that money back. So bank is an institution which accepts money for the purpose of lending. Okay, accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposit of money from public. Now, what is investment of deposit from public? Have you ever understood, or have you ever thought about it, that what do bank do? If you are depositing 5 lakh rupees, your friend is depositing 6 lakhs rupees, your father is depositing 10 lakh rupees, and bank is providing you 10% interest on your deposits. That is a huge amount. 5 lakhs, 10% is 50,000 rupees. So from where do the bank get the money for interest to give it to you, to attract you? So bank accepts deposit in order to invest. What do they do? They lend money to private companies, to business enterprises, for their running, for the efficient running of business. And when they are investing their money, they are earning money from these institutions, and once they earn money, they give a share of that earning as an interest to the deposit holders, because actually they are using your money to mobilize the funds. Okay, and very important topic is repayable on demand. Repayable on demand means whenever you will be asking for your money back, bank will not deny it, because it is your money and it will be repayable on your own demand, and withdrawable by check, draft, and order, or otherwise. We have already studied what do you mean by check, what do you mean by drafts, what do you mean by bill of exchanges, right? We have already studied what are these instruments of banking. So in a layman's term, banking is a service wherein banks accepts deposits for the purpose of lending or investment, repayable on demand. In today's lecture, we'll be studying about various types of banks. What are the various types of banks? The very important and the very first type of bank is central bank. Central bank, by the name itself, it suggests it is the most highest authority, central authority. If I am talking about central of anything, center, that means it is of utmost importance. So here also, central bank is the most important bank. It is the apex financial institution in a country. Like we have Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India is the apex bank of central bank of this country, and every other bank have to fulfill the rules and regulations laid down by the apex financial institution, that is the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, what is the Reserve Bank of India? The Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of our country, and it was established in the year 1945 under the Reserve Bank of India Act. there are various functions of Reserve Bank of India, such as it frames monetary policy. That means whatever the decision the Reserve Bank of India takes in a country, every other bank have to fulfill that. Like if the Reserve Bank of India sets the repo rate to 12%, every bank cannot exceed it from 12%. If the Reserve Bank of India says that housing loans should have 7% interest, and so every other bank, commercial, cooperative, exchange bank, they all have to fulfill it. Okay. Issues currency notes. This is the authority which is not given to any other bank in our country. It issues currency note, it publishes, it makes new currency notes and then distributes it to the banks. Acts as a banker to the government. It is the apex institution, it is the government bank. Okay. And it acts as a banker to the commercial and other banks in India. Understood? The second type and most important type of bank is commercial bank. Commercial bank is the basic banking service which we all get benefits from. The commercial banks, they play a very important role in the development of a country, in the economic development of the country. Economic, we all know, that is related to money, and also in the social development of country, because it helps the poor people by lending them money. So commercial bank performs important functions. There are two main functions of commercial bank: primary functions and secondary functions, which we will be studying in very much detail in the next lectures. But today we'll be studying, we'll have a glance about what is a commercial bank. So commercial bank have certain functions, that is primary functions of accepting deposits and lending money, which all the other banks do. Accepts money from the people and lends a loan to the people. Okay. And secondary functions, that is agency functions, which we will be studying later. That includes discounting bill of exchange, giving letter of credit, and all those things. Okay. Commercial banks are divided into three groups: public sector bank, private sector bank, and foreign banks. Public sector bank means the bank which have the majority capital owned by the government. Private sector means the majority capital would be owned by the private investors. And foreign banks, which are from outside the country. Examples of public commercial bank is State Bank of India. Then example of private sector bank is Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, and example of foreign banks is HSBC and Standard Chartered Bank. Okay. The third type of bank that we'll be studying today is cooperative bank. We have already studied what do you mean by cooperative societies. Yes, these are the business organizations which are formulated for the purpose of giving services and not earning profit, right? So cooperative banks are none other than anything else. It is same as cooperative societies. These are the banks which does not work on profit basis. These are the banks which have less interest rates on loans. Why? Because they are not focused on earning profit, they are more focused on providing services to the people. Okay. In India, cooperative banks are registered under Cooperative Societies Act, as the cooperative organizations are, and regulated under Banking Regulation Act. The main aim of cooperative bank is to provide credit to economically backward people, farmers, and small scale units. That is why you will be finding cooperative banks in semi-urban areas or rural areas, not in urban areas, because it is basically to support the poor people, to support the economically backward people. Okay. Three types of cooperative banks are primary credit societies, district central cooperative societies, and state cooperative societies. It is not available on national level. Examples, if you want to give, of cooperative societies in our city itself, we have two cooperative banks. One is Bombay Mercantile Cooperative Bank, and another one is Nagrik Sahakari Cooperative Bank. Okay. The next type of bank is industrial development bank. Industrial development, by the name itself we understand it is related to development of industrial activities. So they are basically formulated to fund, to provide economic help to the industries, to the industrial finance industrial corporations. Okay, what is it? These are the financial institutions that provide medium and long term funds to the business firms. Examples of development banks are IFCI, Industrial Finance Corporation of India, SFC, Maharashtra State Finance Corporation, MSFC, etc. What is their main function? Underwriting of shares issued by public limited companies, purchase of debentures and bonds. How will you help an industrial corporation? By underwriting their shares. What do you mean by underwriting? I'll explain in a very small concept. What is underwriting of shares? If a company issues 50,000 shares, if a company wants to issue 50,000 shares and they are feeling it risky to issue 50,000 shares, that means they are not sure if people will subscribe to these 50,000 shares. So what do these banks say? If people do not subscribe to your shares, we will buy those shares, we will underwrite those shares, and then we will sell it to the general public on our basis. So this gives a surety to the organizations that whatever the share capital they want to raise, that will be raised whether by general public or by the underwriting banks. Okay, so this is a very major economic help that an industrial development bank gives to an organization. Okay, and what is the second main function of industrial development bank? Purchase of debentures and bonds. Either they will underwrite it on the part of the organization, or they will purchase it from the stock market and help the organization to raise finance and capital. Exchange banks. What do you mean by exchange banks? Exchange banks, name itself suggests, it is related to foreign exchange, change of currency from one country to another country. The exchange banks as well as large commercial banks, foreign exchange transaction is done either in exchange banks or in major commercial banks. Small commercial banks does not take foreign exchange transactions. Why? Because they have a risk of converting money from one currency to another currency, and they do not have a huge capital. So only major commercial banks or exchange banks focus on foreign currency transactions. Examples of exchange banks are Barclays, Bank of Tokyo, or American Exchange Banks, etc. What is their main function? Issuing letter of credit and financing foreign trade. First of all, they are changing, like, what do you mean by letter of credit? Letter of credit is an assurance that has been given by the importers bank to the exporters bank. We have studied it. I'll give you one small description about it. If I want to import goods from America, I will, and I want to pay money to America, I cannot pay money in rupees, and I have to pay it in dollars. So first of all, I will go to my bank and I say that I am importing goods from America. You contact the Bank of America and give them the assurance that we will be paying you money and you will be giving them dollars. So my bank will give a letter of credit to the Bank of America and give them assurance that we are going to issue a letter of credit on behalf of this person if this person fails to pay money. So issuing letter of credit is one of the most important function of exchange banks. Okay, the last few no, sorry, not the last, the next type of bank is regional rural bank. Regional rural banks were established in 1975. These are located in rural areas. These, why are they basically called as regional rural banks? Because they have certain specific portion of capital distributed between the rural and regional government. Central government contributes 50% of the capital, state government contributes 15% of the capital, and other banks, sponsored banks, capital contribution is 35%. RRBs, what do? They mobilize deposits primarily from rural and semi-urban areas and provide loans and advances mostly to small and marginal farmers, agricultural laborers, and rural artisans. These are for poor people. These are located in semi-urban areas or rural areas. And like we know that central government is contributing to the capital, state government is contributing to the capital. That capital is used to provide short term and long term loans to the farmers and agricultural laborers in the rural areas. That's a very basic concept. Saving banks. Saving banks are formulated to inculcate the habit of savings, encourage the habit of savings amongst the people, especially in rural areas. Poor people, they do not focus more on savings. They take their money and they spend it. So what do these saving banks do? They encourage people to save money, especially in rural areas. Examples of such banks include postal saving banks, commercial banks, and cooperative banks. The next type of bank is investment bank. Investment bank, these banks provide financial and advisory assistance to their customers. Their clients generally include business firms and government organizations. Investment banks facilitates mergers and acquisitions by undertaking research and providing advice on investment decisions. They help small organizations which are not very keen, which are not very understanding of the fact that where to invest, how much to invest, what is the right risk level which we could do, and all those things. Their clients generally includes business firms and government organizations. Business firms comes to investment banks and ask for suggestions that we want to do this, that, so they help in mobilizing their funds in investing money. Generally investment banks do not directly deal with general public, they only deal with business firms and government organizations. You cannot go to investment bank and say, I want to invest my money, where should I invest? No, only the business organizations and government organizations can deal with investment banks for investment decisions and advice. Okay, the last type of bank that we are going to study is specialized banks. Exchange banks are also examples of specialized banks because they are specialized. Industrial banks are also examples of specialized banks. Why? Because they are specialized in giving industrial help. Exchange banks are specialized in giving foreign exchange. So the banks which are specialized in one particular areas are specialized banks. They cater to the requirements and provide overall support for setting up businesses in specific areas. Small Industrial Development Bank, SIDBI, and NABARD, and Exim Exchange Bank are great examples of specialized banks. So these are commercial banks. These are the various types of banks: commercial, central. Example of central is RBI. Commercial banks example is HDFC and SBI. Then cooperative banks, then foreign exchange banks, then investment banks, then industrial development banks, and at the end specialized banks. Hope you have understood. Thank you.